Hey, hi all. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will going to discuss the union, data type and the literal data type. TypeScript offers us these two. So in last video, we have looked into tuples and enums. These both types are there. So we have discussed in deep. You can go and watch that video if you haven't watched it yet. So now in this video, we will discuss the union and literal types. So what is meant by union type, right? So actually TypeScript gives us programs, it gives us that ability to combine two or more types. Okay, so how we can do that? We can do that using, a pipe symbol. So this could be the syntax of it. Let me, you know, declare a variable. So using type annotation, we can give type to this variable like this. So this can be number and the pipe, or string, the pipe, and boolean, right? So this is the syntax of union data type. So here we have set the data type as a number for this variable, then the string, and the boolean. So this data type or this variable can hold number values, string values, and boolean values as well. So we are allowing this variable, and we are not restricting it to use only one data type value. So we are allowing that variable to use multiple data type values as well. So this is nothing but an union, data type. So I can do assign numbers to it, then I'll console.log it, then I can assign a string to it, right? And then again console.log, again I will assign a boolean value to it, console.log. Let's transpile this file using TypeScript compiler. So you can see TypeScript compiler has generated a index.js file. So we run that file. So once we run that file, you can see these many console logs has been printed. So the same variable with the different data type value, right? In index.js, you can see the simple implementation is there. They have declared a variable and they are updating that variable with different values. So in JavaScript it is allowed, and but the syntactical difference is there. In JavaScript we cannot set multiple data type to a single variable. So that's the reason, and here they did not set multiple data types. They are directly assigning the multiple data type values to the same variable. This is possible in JavaScript. So at the end, TypeScript is also JavaScript. It transpiles our TypeScript code and then converts it into the JavaScript only. So you can understand by looking at this example. Now we can use this variable in functions as well, right? Functions in the sense the function parameters. But before that, if you are trying to create a array, so as you know, array are actually a collection of similar data type values, right? So now using union, what we can do, we can give type as a string array or a number array as well, right? A number array as well. So now the same variable we can use to store values of string variables, string arrays and the number arrays as well. So this is the beauty of TypeScript over here. So we can you know uh, make that particular variable to be available for different data types. Let's see like how we can use this union type in function parameters. Let me create a function called display, and I will use this param as a string array or a number array. This is how we can use the union type in parameters. Now what I can do, I'll just assign a number, a string array, string values to this array. Let's assign LearnLift, and then I'll just console log over here. Let me loop through each and every array, right? So param dot for each, we have v comma I over here. Now I'll create a string, an empty string, and I will assign that string the value. Okay, string plus equals to v, and then at last we will console log the string over here. Now let me call the function display with y, right? So y, now y is containing the string array. So let's see now what happens. You can see LearnLift has been printed, right? And after calling this, let's change the array as a number array, right? And then again call the display method over here using y. Now you can see the number array has been printed, right? 1 2 3 4 5. So this has been printed over here. This is nothing but a number array, and this is string array. So this is how you can actually use the union types in various locations by defining a variable, and then calling it as a parameter as well. You can use this union type. Now as you learn the union, we will go to the literal types now. So there is a slight difference between union and literal. So in literal types, we can restrict particular variable to use certain values only. So other than those values, if we try to assign some other values to that variable, it won't accept that, and we actually converting that variable as a type, and we can give that variable as a type to other variables as well. If you didn't get it, let me give you an example so that you could understand it. Let me comment out this and clear the console first, right? Now let's create literal type. So for literal type, we need to use the type keyword over here, and then our literal word, anything, right? So we are creating this direction as a type right now. Okay, so this is nothing but a literal type, and we are assigning some values to it. What could be the values? East, let's say east, then west, north, and then south, and let's say any direction. Okay, so these are 5 values it has, right? This is nothing but a string literal variable or string literal type. Okay, and we can use this type everywhere where we do need to use it, right? For example, we can use this as a function parameter. We can use this to give type to another variable as well. So let's say I'm creating a variable um, you know literal something like that of type. I can give it direction, right, is equal to. Now if I try to assign some value to it, right, I cannot assign values apart from this mentioned values, because this literal data type has these many values only. So we are actually restricting the variables created by using this type, right? So we are restricting this literal variable to not use the values other than these mentioned values, right? So that's the reason we are not able to assign any other value to it. If we try to do so, right, let me assign this do to it, it will give me error, right? So what error it will give? Do is not assignable to type direction. Why? Because do is not the direction type does not contains do as a value of it, right? So this is how we can use it while creating variables, and we can give the literal type as a type to that variable, right? Again, there is another way in a functions as well. Let's say function display. I'll create a param of type direction, right? So once I create this, just let me console log whatever we have inside a param, and if I try to call this display, right, so I cannot call display other than mentioned values. Okay, if I try to enter 1, it gives me error that argument of type 1 is not assignable to parameter of type direction, right? So this is a user defined type we have created, right? And this contains some default values, so we cannot give the values other than those, right? So we need to give the values. I'm pressing control space. If I give east display, control space, if I give west, it will print me these values. So let's try to transpile it. So I'm transpiling it. I'm running the JS file. You can see east and west has been printed. So in the index.js file, the literal types are nothing but we are just the TypeScript. What TypeScript does, it gives us an environment to create or restrict, to create our own type and restrict it for the certain values, so that user should not able to call that function or anything other than those values. So here in the JavaScript, it has created a simple function and calling it with these two values. That's it. But in TypeScript, when we create this type, in the TypeScript code we are not able to call it, right? So it is restricting us. So that is the feature actually TypeScript provides us, but at the end it generates the same JavaScript as you can see over here, right? So if it is an TS file, then we can call this function by any keyword, but it's a TypeScript file. That's the reason. And we have created a type, our user defined type with some default values. That's the reason we are not able to call it other than those values in the TypeScript only. So that's an advantage actually using TypeScript over JavaScript for coding purpose. At the end, after transpiling it or compiling it, it actually generates the same JavaScript as you can see over here, right? Then we have another type like numerical type. So we can give numbers over here, ones, and the boolean values also we can give. So this is a boolean literal type we can say, and mixed literal type is also there. So mixed is nothing but the combination of number, string, and boolean literal types. Okay. So now if I try to call this display function other than the mentioned values, let's say false, it gives me error that false is not assignable to parameter of type direction, because false is not available inside this, right? So this is how it is. We have seen the union type and the literal types. Literal type has all numbers, the numerical literals. It can have all strings, the string literal type. It can have boolean values, the boolean literal types. Okay, either true or false, right? So we can give we can say that true or false, and so that this parameter should contain either true or false only when we are passing it, or maybe when we are typecasting it, right? So when we typecast a particular result or response from anything, like whatever we have in the conditions, right? So if we typecast it in the type direction, then the left hand side should have value either true or false only, right? So this is how the use cases of it is also. And these are the multiple types we can create, um, literal types. Okay, so as you can see, we have learned unions, multiple variants of it, and then the literal type also, and multiple variants of it, and where we can use it, and this also, like where we can use it, the union type as well, right? So this is how it is actually. And if you, I hope actually you like the video. If you like it, hit like and share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, so that you never miss any new updates coming from this. And again, like in future, we are, after this, we are actually starting either React or Angular or Node. Let me decide on this. Most probably I'll start with uh, Node.js first. After that we will move towards front end like Angular, React, Vue.js, Knockout.js, something like that, right? One after one. So stay tuned. Do not forget to subscribe so that you never miss these upcoming courses as well, right? Thank you all guys. Let's meet in next video.